King Tiger tanks smashed through Allied lines and conquered the port city of Antwerp. That was the concept of the last large-scale German offensive in the West. In this video, I will introduce you the particular King Tiger unit which participated in the operation and its commander. The heavy tank battalion which should have led the way was the 501st Heavy SS Panzer Battalion. This battalion was created in July of 1943 with 3 companies. With the anticipated Allied invasion of Western Europe approaching, the battalion was ordered to the west in April of 1944. This time, the battalion was led by Heinz von Westernhagen. Westernhagen was a Baltic German. He was born in Riga, Latvia, in 1911 into a comfortable middle-class family. In the winter of 1914, all Germans were ordered to leave Riga within 3 days or be deported. The von Westernhagen family, leaving everything behind, escaped through Sweden to Germany, hoping that one day they could return to their home. Heinz finished high school and in 1928 he joined the German Merchant Marine. After going to the sea on and off for 6 years, he joined the SS in 1934 and he was assigned to the Sicherheitsdienst. His responsibilities were to be in foreign counterintelligence, and he hated it. He wanted to be an officer with a combat unit. Unlike many other Germans who saw the counterintelligence service as means to stay out of harm's way, Heinz was constantly plotting to get to the front. After some difficulties, he ended with an active combat unit in 1940. In June of 1942, Westernhagen became the commander of the 1st SS Panzer Division's assault gun battalion. He sustained a head wound in the first day of the Kursk operation on 5th of July 1943. Westernhagen was evacuated and transferred to Berlin for surgery. This head injury plagued Westernhagen for the rest of his life. After further treatment, he started a training course for battalion commanders in Paris and became the commander of the previously mentioned Tiger Tank Battalion and arrived to his unit in February of 1944. The battalion lost virtually all its Tigers in the Battle of Normandy and the German retreat from France. In September of 1944, the unit was ordered to rest and it was re-equipped with the new Tiger II heavy tanks. This behemoth of 70 tons was most feared by the Allies because it outmatched all the Allied tanks. It was said that one King Tiger could take out 4 Sherman tanks before the 5th Sherman could circle around and put a few shots into the rear. Only the rear armor could easily be penetrated by the gun of the Sherman tank. The plan for the Ardennes Offensive was to deliver a powerful blow and to regain the initiative on the Western Front. In December of 1944, the 501st SS Heavy Panzer Battalion was at full strength. Each panzer company possessed 14 Tiger II tanks. This gave a total strength of 45. However, the battalion was plagued with maintenance problems and mechanical breakdowns, and it is probable that only around 30 or 35 Tigers actually participated in the initial advance. But the King Tiger tanks could sustain a speed of only 38 km per hour. Due to the blitzkrieg style of the action, the Tiger battalion was placed to the rear of the march column from the beginning, forming the rear guard. According to the plan, after leaving the hilly section of the offensive zone, the Tiger Battalion was to be moved forward and spearhead the breakthrough to the Meuse River. On 16th of December 1944, due to the 12th Volksgrenadier Division's slow progress in breaking through the American lines, the Tiger Battalion couldn't roll out from its assembly area. By then, the surprise factor had been lost. The US forces regrouped and blew up several bridges ahead of the German advance, trapping the battle group in a deep valley. The weather also improved, permitting the Allied Air Force to operate. Airstrikes destroyed or heavily damaged numerous German vehicles. The German command was in disarray. Some units had lost their way among difficult terrain or in the dark, while company commanders preferred to stay at the head of the column and thus were unable to provide guidance to their own units. The column was unable to protect his rear, which enabled American troops to cut off from the only possible supply road for ammunition and fuel. Without supplies and with no contact with other German units, the advance was stopped. American attacks forced the remnants of the Tiger Battalion to retreat to Lagliese. The small village became the center point of the pocket. The German group was pinned down at this village. Roads to the west were blocked by the 82nd Airborne Division, Engineer and other units. Being stopped and under heavy artillery shelling and fuel shortage, the commander decided to abandon 135 vehicles at the village and retreat by night through the woods back to the German lines. The breakout began at midnight on the 24th of December 1944, and approximately from the 3,000 men, 850 who could still walk, including wounded, assembled to begin the breakthrough. Among them was Westernhagen and some other members of his battalion. In the morning hours of the 25th of December 1944, the group reached the German lines after a 33-hour march. A few months later, on the 19th of March 1945, Westernhagen received an order to leave the battalion and join the officer reserve. According to the official statement, on the same day Westernhagen was killed by an aircraft bomb. However, it is indicated that Westernhagen committed suicide after being relieved as battalion commander.